mu kitundu kye bali bagenda okuddamu okumenya on Tuesday last week. N'olwokuba nti twagenda ne tusaba ne bayimiriza Kawala bali bagenda kuddayo era bamenye n'ebitundu ebirala byonna, naye okuvaayo kwaffe ate mu bumu nga tetwesosodde mu bibiina bya bufuzi nga tulwanirira ekintu kimu nga nateesa wano ne tusobola okuteesa n'Enema netuwa omwezi gumu okusobola okulaba nti tweteekateeka tutule nabo tukaaye ng'akakiiko kano kateekeddwa.
Eno ye Magala TV, okumanya we kutandikira.
Bali baagala kukola ki? Ne tusiikinga advice from the Solicitor General eyawa kuwabula gy'olukiiko luteekebwewo. Kesi sireekerewa okumala omwaka gumu kumpi n'ekitundu nga teronze kakiiko ako Nema kusobola kukwatagana nako kulaba nti okumenya kw'abantu tekubaawo oba kubeerawo nga bamaze okulungamizibwa. Kakati bamenye bakoze eki? Bamenye ekwe kusinga in action mangu ekitagamba musoke muyimirize ekyo no kyayambi mwandibadde mutukubirako mu ngalo ng'abakulembeze kyakoze eki? The letter had been written and copied to the following. What was the letter? The advice is here. It will be also read. It was copied to the Attorney General, the Minister of Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, the Deputy Attorney General, the Deputy Solicitor General, and the Executive Director of Nema. It was written to the Executive Director of KCCA. It has taken KCCA 1.5 years without constituting that important committee. So when we came in the office, after looking for this letter, I wrote to the ED, requesting the ED to convene a meeting to be able to constitute that committee. The letter is here. And I think the ED is going to invite all the members that are supposed to make the committee. The members that are supposed to be on this committee are clearly indicated here in section 27 of the National Environment Act. The district chairperson, in the case of KCCA, it's the Lord Mayor. The members of Parliament representing Kampala, there are 10. The resident district commissioner, who is 1. The secretary for environment, who is my secretary here. The district natural resources officer. The chief accounting officer. And they agreed that Nema, KCCA and UNRWA should agree on how to compensate the people, those that were PAPs during that time. Because that area is going to house all its reserve for quite a number of projects, government projects, and priority programs, projects. So they agreed that they should also make an assessment of those areas that cannot be reclaimed. Which word did they use? There is a word they used. Let me say restored. And that maybe they should vanquish it through a policy and make it available for the people. So those were the arguments. And it was a press release. An agreement between KCCA and Nema. But they only gave KCCA 20 days to make sure that they constitute the committee that was supposed to be responsible for the management of the wetlands in the city. Unfortunately, when the executive director convened a meeting of all those that are supposed to be members, there was a lacuna, a request for interpretation of the law made by some members. And the request was that the Solicitor General should advise on whether the deputy RCCs were part of the committee. In September that very year, 2024, after writing to the Solicitor General for advice on whether the deputy RCCs are part of the committee, the advice was that they are not, and therefore he advised that the committee should be constituted. Unfortunately, it has taken 1.5 years without even looking into the documents. When I was coming from South Africa, where we had a meeting of all the mayors in East Africa and some parts of Africa, I heard that people in Kawala had been against the ngeteka ali kumulenda chenda munana ali mumanyi agende mu court bajja kumulirira nero balukagaza nti bagenda kulirira abantu balala etteeka ali kumulenda chenda munana eryo liwo omuntu yenna abadde ku ttaka eryo kubeera nti abeera n'obwannanyi taba bingi nnyo byogera ku nsonga naye nga batageezezza nti n'abakulu bwe bagambye selective application of the law yesinga okugyamu abantu nti oze ono omuweso tomugize ate nojja nojjayo ono bwe bali bamenya ennyumba ya Nyakana bwe batyo bakola basikayo ya minisita ne bagireka ne bagenda ya Mamisebana ne bagireka ne bajja ne bajja ya Nyakana bwe batyo batambula selective application of the law kyekisinga okuniza abantu vanwishing ekyo kyogeddeko nti ebitundu ebisinga ennakawa byali degazetted ebugolo byawo lwali lutobazi bwennyini lwolabirako ddala neŋŋwana nenyigala ekitwakita ne bagoba gavumenti yakkiriza bazimbe nyumba za bupangisa era bali mukuzimba paka ku Lake Victoria. So selective application, resettlement plan tugyogeddeko singa tetuyiiye engeri yaku restoring abantu abo resettle them ojja kwesanga nti obumenyi bw'amateeka bweyongera insecurity. Webanga government esobola okuvaayo neyamba abanoonyi b'obubudamu mbagambe tulina abanoonyi b'obubudamu 17,000 mu Kampala wala bazimbidde babawa ne ssente abamu naye ate Munnayuganda asasula omusolo lwaki omumenya n'okwata ssente n'ozimuwa kale tukuwadde genda onoonye watundu zigenda kuzimba ekonomi ze ssente zisigala mu ekonomi naye n'omumenya n'atandika okuba abantu obutayimbwa. That insecurity ereetebwa sinungi.
Your Worship, that government entities have been recognizing the past occupants even during construction of these projects. When you look at UNRA, when they are constructing the northern bypass, the people who were residing in that line, they were compensated. Same applies to the National Water and Sewage Corporation. While establishing the sewage plant, that certain group of people still was compensated. When the World Bank interested itself in the Kampala Drainage Master Plan, a group at the drainage system of Rubigi, they were still compensated. How comes now that Nema is enforcing restoration orders without ideally compensating these people who are occupants? Some of them even pay usuru or rental fees to Buganda Land Board and all that. So we kindly beseech the authorities and the committee that is going to be fully constituted to look into this matter, receive